guys, what do you say we get ready together today? I've got a bag full of makeup here, and you know what the criteria is today? Stuff I haven't used in a long time. Sometimes I do shop my stash videos, and it's just kind of random, like whatever I feel like using, I grab, and that's fun. But today I really wanted to put the focus on those things that maybe I remember absolutely loving, but they just haven't been used in a while. So we're going to use them today. We're going to try to create an amazing look and have a lot of fun. And yeah, here we go. The first thing is a primer, and it's this Kosas Glow IV. This one kind of goes down in my mind as the world's glowiest primer, and I think I got spooked. I got spooked early on with this one, and I feel like, hey, give it another chance. We're starting off summer. School's going to be out in a week. Let's roll with this. Let's try it again. The shade I have is Sheer Light Medium Champagne. It's infused with several vitamins. You can tell it hasn't been pumped out in a while. It's kind of spurting out. Probably got more than enough. Let's swipe her on. Look how glowy. But see, I could be convinced to go pretty glowy in the summer months, sometimes. All right, I'm gonna wipe the excess off on my hand. And then let's blend it in with a brush. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. buffing brush. It really just has a liquid highlighter, straight liquid highlight feel. Look at my skin. Okay, I see why I've been hesitant on this one. I think I can see the full texture at a distance of anything happening on my skin that isn't 100% smooth. Like that Revlon Photo Ready Skin Tint, that stuff felt very glowy, but at the same time, there was a coverage element mixed in. This, I don't think really has any coverage, but I probably am shining out the window. And you know those owls a few weeks ago who were like hooting the moment my lights turned on in here? They're gonna start again, I think. I don't know, I'm now kind of getting used to seeing myself this way. Okay, I don't know. Let's roll with it and see how the rest of the look goes on top of it. Because I picked a totally full coverage foundation, and this might be the stuff that could just bring a little life through it, you know? What's happened to this and me? CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear Light Airbrush Finish 24 Hour. I love this stuff. It's really good. I've just kind of gotten off of it, I guess. Natural Beige is my shade. Pump is gunky and used, and I could tell since it hadn't been shaken up in a while, like it's probably been about half used, which is pretty good for a full coverage foundation where a little goes a long way. It's not like ultra thick, which I like, but it has really good coverage, so let's do this. And I pulled out a beauty blender, a legit actual beauty blender. Let's start tapping this in and see how it interacts with the ultra glowy primer. My glowy primer stuff's kind of like my icebreaker, kind of like my, hey, let's make sure everybody's awake for this. Look, okay. I feel like this foundation is like the perfect shade for me right now, too. I better use it while I still can before it gets super old. And I know the staying power is fabulous. The Kosas is still trying to be seen and felt through this. What do I have going on today? What's on the agenda? We're at that time of year where there's like some little thing every day, even if it's just like, we're going to be outside all day, so make sure your kid wears sunscreen. Like, I got to be mindful of what's happening at school. Last night, Rhett had a coach's pitch game. He was kind of off his game on hitting the coach's pitches, but they can hit it off the tee as well. But tonight is Biddy's spring sing. That's the thing tonight, yeah. So there's that all blended in. So we're building some coverage here. We're having fun. I grabbed out this concealer from NARS because I never reach for this one. It's the Radiant Creamy Concealer. I feel like back in the day this got a lot of raves, and me and this concealer haven't ever like truly deeply bonded. I've always felt like it's a little thick. Light 2 Vanilla is the shade I have it in now. I feel like I was sent one in PR more recently, but it's just not something I'm prone to grabbing for. But we're dabbing it on. It's a concealer that still has a doe foot applicator, not a buck foot. Doe foot. Okay. I'm going to spread it with my brush and then bop it in with my beauty blender. Okay. The tone seems really nice. I like being brightened. Yes. Yesterday at the baseball game, there's a little girl walking around selling bracelets. And at first I thought maybe she was fundraising for something, but then it occurred to me, no, she is just a little entrepreneur here. She's just walking around selling some bracelets she made. And she had them on this little like jewelry stand where you might find bracelets in a boutique or something. Like, I thought she kind of had her stuff together, and she came up to me and she said, would you like to buy a bracelet? And they're $2 each, and they were handmade cute little bracelets. So I got one for each of the girls. At this level of game, you're not going to have people walking around the stands with popcorn. You're going to have little girls walking around with their homemade bracelets. Bless her heart. Look at that. Okay, that covered well. Does it look heavy? Why does this concealer always give me a little bit of a heavy vibe? And people say Radiant Creamy Concealer is a dupe for this, and I feel like they are only basing that off of the shape of the tube and the name, because it's not the same. The Neutrogena, I feel, has a lot of hydration. I think I need just like a dot more of coverage right about there. I am liking the effect of my Beauty Blender blending all this in. I might be back in Beauty Blender mode for a while after this. Dee-dee-dee. Okay. All in all, I would say the base looks good. I like the tone of the foundation. I do like that there's some glow coming through, and the brightness level of the concealer is working for me. Then we need some coffee. Oh, I got my Luke's mug today. What is on there? Did I tell you guys I made sun tea earlier this week? I made green tea, and you put it in your big like drink dispenser thing, you know, with the little spout. Got mine from Walmart. It has lemons all over it or whatever, and you just fill it with water. And I don't know how many tea bags I use, like 5 tea bags, tie them together, dip them in, screw your top on, go sit it outside in the sun like all day, and then bring it in. And then I just added in some honey, and I just stirred it in, and now it's living in my fridge, and it's over halfway gone. Yeah, green tea. My mom used to do that. A man came across my Instagram feed a few days ago talking about making sun tea, and I was immediately transported back to my mom having one of those drink dispensers sitting out on the front sidewalk, like making sun tea. This is a powder we're using. It's Revolution Luxury Baking Powder in Lace. I don't reach for this often. This little receptacle here just doesn't have me thinking, use me. I don't know. What do you think? Let's see. I'm dabbing it in. It's just kind of like hard to work with a little cap this size, but it's possible if you really want to. Speaking of if you really want to, I don't want to seem like an angry YouTuber, but can I just say something here? I've heard a lot in the past week. People will get on my TikToks, and just like this past week, I will get a comment every video, comment or two maybe, saying you haven't shown up on my For You page in forever. Well, first off, I haven't even been on TikTok that long, but okay, like I haven't shown up in a long time. I immediately think, you know, boo-hoo TikTok for not pushing my content out to people who apparently want to see it. But then on the other hand, I think like, come check on me, you know? If you care and you like the content, it's not like you got to take a 5-mile drive to find me. Just put Emily Noel in your search box and you know what I'm saying? Like, just don't come on there and tell me the algorithm hasn't shown you my channel in forever, because it's not that much effort to seek somebody out if you care to watch them, okay? I'm sorry, I feel salty and sassy by saying that. But that powder looks good. That powder's salty and sassy. I don't know. I just kind of jokingly answered one of the comments. I was like, well, if the algorithm isn't doing its job, come check on me sometime. I have certainly sought out people I've wanted to see either on TikTok or on YouTube. You know, like if I'm in the mood to see a certain person, I don't just wait for the subscription feed to pop me up something. You know, I'll find it. If I want Arby's, I'm finding it. If I want a new blush, I'm finding it. Like I'm going to it. I'm getting out and getting it. If you want some me, just get out and get it. It's out there. Sometimes we forget. I don't know. I mean, I'm that way too. We live in a world of feeds, and if you're not on the feed, then you're not seen. Well, one way I think you start getting seen more is if you just find their stuff, like it, engage with it, watch a lot of it, and then it tends to start coming up more. I think usually is what happens, but I pulled out this. This is by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer Light Medium. Now this is a thing. This is an all over warming complexion tint. Like this can be worn all over. It's like kind of a bronzy glaze all over your skin, but I'm gonna use it more in a pinpointed way today. I've had this on hand for a long time, gang, and I don't know. I'm dotting it on. I want you to see the amount, because I could very easily dip in with my Sephora 56, but it blends with ease. I just never really think about picking this guy up. And it could have been worn at the start. Bronzy glaze all over my face kind of thing. But I had enough going on there, okay? We can contour with it. Really creamy, really easy. Not gonna lie, I had in the back of my mind as I chose some of the things for this video, I thought, you know, and if I don't like it, I can just get rid of it, because maybe some of these things have been on hand for a while. But actually, with as good as the skin's turning out, I'm feeling like I can't part with anybody right now. You know what I really missed out on this year? I completely missed out on American Idol. I just like did not take it in this season. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just happened to miss enough episodes and then felt like I was kind of to the point of no return. So once I did have time to watch, I just didn't. I'm behind on Days of Our Lives, but I am super excited for something I saw come across my feed. Dancing with the Stars is going to be searching for like the next new pro, and I love that angle. Okay, this turned out to be a really soft contour. It didn't mess with my coverage. It didn't really mess with the feel on top of the skin. Although I do feel a little juicy on my forehead. But yeah, that's cool. Okay. I'm absolutely mad at myself that a Persona DreamStick Multi-Stick makes its way into this video. Like, shame on me. But I pulled out Jam because I love Jam. I like it on cheeks. I like it on lips. These sticks are great. I'm going to give myself a generous dot on each cheek. Note how high I went. Sassy and salty. I'm going to dab it in with my other Sephora 56. Oh yeah. The way this shade shears out and looks like such a fresh pink, I just adore it. I love it. It's so good. And it could be on the lips as well, very easily. It's a really great product on lips. It feels kind of like a nicely pigmented, rich lip balm, but I've got a different thing that I pulled out for lips for later. I love these. I love the shade Jam, and I love the shade Kiss, which is the red. But then I pulled out an additional blush because more blush is more fun, and I pulled out this Rare Beauty. It's their powder blush. The shade is Happy. It's kind of like, you know, on that baked blush train a little bit, a little domed up, but it's very, very soft. And I feel like once I redid the storage in my blush drawer, she just didn't get touched again. She was not coming up on my For You page. None of this stuff was coming up on my For You page. See, I'm just as guilty as anybody. If I wanted to be using it, I would. Oh, the glow on that. See, I did not pull out a highlighter because I knew this product is such a fusion of blush and glow. I hear you, Rosie. Gotta get a cat door. I saw something last night that absolutely cracked me up. Just a sec. It was about cat people and how, like, you love your cat to death, but you also love everyone else's cats to death. You also love the kitty living on the street by the trash can to death. You just kind of create this emotional bond with other cats, and I do. Like, for example, there's a cat I drive by. I think the cat is part of this certain family. It's always at this one house, but it'll be either, like, on the step or right beside the house. An outdoor cat, and I drive by it every day that I pick Belle up. And it's just this cute little white cat, and not a day goes by that I'm not driving past this house looking for that cat, hoping I find it, saying like, hi kitty, out the window when I see it. Yeah, cat people are something. I pulled out this little powder. It's the Real Flawless Luminous Perfecting Pressed Powder in Translucent by Laura Mercier. So it looks like this. Speaking of domed, speaking of baked-ish, it's got a little glow, and I thought, what if we just took that all over everything? Take a little powder brush, just dab it over. I think it's going to give us an hourglass, why is the name, ambient lighting powder feeling. It might be a little smoothing, a little blurring. Yeah, I'm getting that feeling. Okay. I think the complexion is absolutely rocking it right now, actually. I'm going to get these guys out of the way. For brows, you talk about not using something in a while. The Jones Road is called the Brow Pencil. This little chunky pencil, shade is brunette. I don't know. I fear my nano pencil loving self just has not been attracted to this one, but I think she can work. I think she is laying down some color. You just gotta be careful. I don't know, or do I like this? It's doing the job pretty well. I mean, it's not gonna be given like fine hair-like strokes, but it's gonna sort of give the brow some shadow. I don't know how to put that. This left brow is gonna be the doozy. This is where I got the scar and just a little more care I have to take for the fill-in. I don't know. I'm straight just drawn on top of hair, waiting for a good result. Waiting for a result of any kind. I was at the gas station the other day. Rhett and I had dropped the girls off at dance, and he's very like, he wants us to have our time on Tuesdays. It used to be like I sat there at dance with the girls, and once he started kindergarten, he really wanted his time with me. He wanted to come home and play with me, read with me, whatever. And that day he convinced me to get him a drink from Huck's gas station. And so we went in and got him his zero sugar Sunkist or whatever. And as I'm coming out, I see a person from my past. We meet face to face. One of the former owners of the TV station. And it was so nice to see him. Like, it just felt like a momentary blast from the past. I could tell I was surprised to see him, and he was really surprised to see me. And do you ever leave like a moment where you see somebody you have not seen in a long time, and you leave that wondering like, was this a sign of something? Like, why did that happen? Why did I happen to be in that place at that time and see that person? I don't know. Sometimes I think I read into things too deeply. Neither of us, you know, are involved with the station anymore, but I just thought that was neat that that happened, like on a whim. I wasn't even getting gas. I was just going in with Ugga, finding an orange sun-kissed, and boom. A nice encounter with somebody I hadn't seen in a while. Okay, this is, did I say what this is? Milani Stay Put Brow Mousse. I never use this because it scares me. It wants to lay down a lot. It's a little old now. It's got some age on it, and it feels almost a little drier, and I feel like I can control it a little. But it's a thick product. I would love to know, like, who reaches for this every single day? I'd feel like I was taking a risk every time I grabbed it. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like it made my brows look even more opaque and dense, which that might be a quality some people are wanting in a brow product. So by all means, brush through it a little bit. Eyeshadow primer, I'm just gonna go with familiar here. e.l.f. Lock It Down. Been using it a lot, but been loving it a lot. Just a little swiperoo. Wouldn't it have been funny if he said, you haven't come up in my feed in a while? Here's the palette that has not come up in my feed in a while, but you know what I'm doing in this video? I'm seeking it out and I'm grabbing it again and I'm using it. Dominique Cosmetics. She put out some fabulous palettes for a stretch, and I noticed this one is still being sold, the Essential palette. I really liked this for a while, and I started looking at it and I thought, you know, it is kind of basic, but at the same time, I feel like I could absolutely go hog wild with it if I wanted to. There's a black in here. There's some shimmer. There's the mid-tones I need. Big old pans. Big old mirror. Let's do it. Got my eye primer on. I'm first taking this Me Amo shade right here. Dusty Rose. And we'll just get that going in the crease. But she had, and I think, was it Beautylish that was still selling it? I just found this on her website, Dominique Cosmetics. I'm gonna check Beautylish now and see if more is on there, because she had like the berries and cream. Just some really pretty palettes with big pans, nice pigment, fun color stories. Oh, she's got a palette called the Transition palette. I haven't seen that one. That looks nice. She's got the Essential palette on Beautylish and a number of other like lip products, some powders perhaps, blushes. Not all the palettes she once had. I loved that berries and cream palette. But anyway, we're just working with the Dusty Rose and getting a little crease setup happening. Oh, an eyelash. My kids are obsessive about making a wish, blowing the eyelash away. I'm ready for summer. I'm ready for more flexible time and cool time, staying up while the sun's up. I tell you, I'm a real wintertime girl when it's winter. Not so fond of spring, but I do love the animals and the leaves. But when summer rolls around, I really fall into being a summer girl too. Deep to D. Okay, I've just sheared it and sheared it. These are easy colors to work with. You ever just kind of get into a zone where you're like, I could just work with this one shadow for a good 5 solid minutes if I just had the time, but just shearing and shearing. It's looking almost mauve-y in my crease. Letting it just blend into nothingness. Why do I so badly want to put my brush in that black? Just do it. You just do it. You're feeling it? It's called Fearless. Dab, dab, dabbing my Morphe M303. The M303 probably hasn't met this palette before. Hi, meet this guy. Meet this guy. Okay. Matte black. We're just dabbing it onto the outer lid and maybe further in, you know? Let's take up at least half the lid space with the black. It's not a black that's going to overwhelm you. It's not like puffing up a cloud of dust as you go in. But definitely keep in mind, where you first put your brush is where the most product goes. So we're being mindful of that with the outer corner, getting the first tap down. Outer corner gets it first, and then we ease inward. Maybe I just haven't picked up enough palettes that contain a black lately, because I picked this up, I'm, ooh, black. I don't think that would have knocked my socks off that much back in the day. Okay, I'm really just wanting to get this black placed exactly where I want it, so then I can go in with some kind of like softening color, like maybe that shade called Confident. It seems like a deeper brown, but it's got shimmer, and I feel like that would be so pretty blending on the outside of the black. Fairly pleased with where we're at right now. Small pointed brush, Confident, right here. Let's think about using that like crease and above a little. No fallout from that black, by the way. But you know what I'm not loving as I look up close at my skin? Dun dun dun. The way I can still see that Kosas Glow IV, like looking pretty from a distance, I will say, but like getting all up in it, I mean, I can't possibly put you as close as I'm looking at me right now, but just trust me when I say I'm seeing every bit of texture on my skin right now. Is it time for the Glow IV to just go, IV? Look what I'm doing with that brown shimmer. I tell you, there's a softness that a shimmer can achieve when sheared out that's different from a matte sheared out. It's working for me. Let yourself actually get into the depths of the crease as you start this shade, and then it's like I'm just swirling it out. You could use your crease brush for this too if you wanted, but this little Profusion small pointed brush is just giving me all the control. Beautiful fade there. I like how that brown is just, you know, slightly warmer than the black, of course, and it just has a really pretty look as it's shearing. I go back to the crease brush and I'm only catering to the edge of the look. A little softness. We do have a cream here called Positivity. Maybe bop into that. That can go right up under the brow. Sure. Looking very pro, looking very blended. And then I want to see this one called Grateful. Look how it's like a shimmery, I want to say it's lilac, but it's very soft on the purple involved. But I'm going to pick that up with my Morphe M302. A little smaller than the 303 that we did the black on the outer lid with. And I'm going to begin just, oop, I just got the brow gel with my knees. I am just dabbing it on the inner lid, and something I find myself doing lately is letting even shimmer progress a little higher than the crease line. And it just like takes up a little more space and somehow makes sense to me. These shades, they're not kicking up clouds of dust. Like I feel like I'm actually going boop, 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 like picking some up. But I like not being overwhelmed by the color. Soft sheen, kind of cool sheen. And then let's take Pretty Kind right here. Looks like just a really brightening pinky shade that can go around the inner corner. What a pretty palette. What a nice rediscovery too. Not done yet. I think let's take True Self right here. This really medium cool brown, small pointed brush, and let's just take that on the lower lash line. I feel like the pigment is strong enough in these mattes to just really cling on and probably not cause me too much trouble today, and hopefully look about the same by the time I go to that spring sing tonight. Nice. Loving it. Majorly underused product by me. Just an eyeliner pencil, just a standard pencil. This is from Essence. It's their gel eyeliner called Stay and Play. It says waterproof and long lasting. I have a bunch of these that had been sent to me in PR, so I need to get into them. Stardust Love. And it seems like a really nice little, I'll extend my swatch so you can tell, a deep charcoal, but it does have some reflectivity. And I don't know, I'm just, for some reason I feel like it would work. It's not gonna like shout with contrast alongside this look, but it is deepening me there along the outer part of the lash line, and then I'm just letting it come inward. I think that's kind of nice. And it's really going on well, which is impressive for a drugstore pencil that hasn't been used in a while. She's just gliding on. I'm all about my lazy liners. Whenever I get in pencil mode and not like liquid liner mode, I'm thinking about my lazy liners, but my goodness. That couldn't have been easier. I just put that on the upper. Now the conversation shifts when we talk about mascaras I haven't used in a while, because nothing is going back that far, because that's just not good. I do have my Rimmel Scandalized Volume on Demand. I feel like it's been a little while that I've used that one. I'm still gonna use Elf Lash Extender, which I just used yesterday and every day. That will be my lower lash. Here we go, curling the lashes. Sun's coming up out there, as you can see. I love having that window back here. I know I've been in this positioning in my videos for a long time, but I honestly don't think I can top a background that includes a window, even if it is dark 90% of the time. I just like that there's a window back there, okay? Scandalized Volume on Demand. I got bad news about my Walmart's redo, their little renovation where they changed a bunch of things and they scooted everything around in the store and just like juggled up the store, scrambled it up and put everything in a new place. You know what got left out when they did that? Rimmel. Now, if I want to see Rimmel in person, I absolutely must go to a Walgreens. Walmart, why? Why? I really dislike that. Yeah, I'm over here saying, oh yeah, Walmart, Nude by Nature. I love Nude by Nature. But they kicked out Rimmel. Not in favor. And bless their hearts, Rimmel has been cranking out some really good stuff. But it's like Amazon is the most reliable place to find it. Although I've not been makeup shopping in a Walgreens in a bit. Brush is ginormous, but it is depositing a lot on my lashes, and I'm enjoying that part. I may have made a tiny mistake on my lid, but I think I can recover from that. Okay, in the interest of editing me, I'm gonna finish another coat or two and then come back. My mascara is done. I just finished off like another coat on the upper lashes with the Rimmel, and then I used my e.l.f. lash extender on the lower lashes. Why I'm so hooked on that, if I haven't come up in your feed in a while, I love the lash extender because it's a tubing mascara. So tubing mascaras, instead of interacting with moisture and then smearing, they're basically incapable of smearing. They sort of lift off of the lashes in little bits, little almost rubbery feeling bits. So that's why you like a tubing mascara, because then when it's time to take it off, it comes off with ease. But in my experience with like lash extender and others, it doesn't budge until you're starting to take it off, okay? The lip thing. Gosh, I could have probably pulled anything from like my liquid lipstick section of makeup and felt like I haven't used these in a while. That's not a category of makeup I'm really going to a lot. And I have these in there because they're long wear. They're the Color Fetish from Milani Hydrating Lip Stains. And I love these. And I'm kicking myself that I haven't been using them more. This is the shade Rose Rising. So good, so thin and light. They do have some shine, but then they truly hang around for a long, long time. Love the applicator precision. Yes, it's so nice. It feels honestly really, really moisturizing. It's not just one of those glossy stain things where it's like, yeah, we'll throw you a bone and you'll feel moisturized for just a couple minutes. No, that moisture is legit and it really hangs on. But then if you were to blot some of this off or some comes off on your coffee cup, you still have a nice amount of color on there. So that's my look today, friends, for a sassy, salty day. Oh, Belle has tumbling right after school. Okay, multiple things going on. Glad I remembered that. I'm sure she would have remembered that. But this is my look, and there's a few things where I feel like I could maybe declutter. Things that don't need to continue taking up space. I'm giving the concealer a pass. I think the concealer's not looking too bad. I can tell there is just always a weight to that product, but I feel like my tube has been barely used and I don't feel good about getting rid of that. But this Revolution Luxury Baking Powder and Lace, like this is so much like so many other powders that I have like this. And I don't love the tiny cap and it just takes up a lot of room. This Mario Soft Sculpt, okay, but not knocking my socks off. I got tons of cream bronzers. I got a lot of glowy primers, and this one is just, honestly, I think it's just a little too much for me. I feel like the usage of this product has been so incredibly minimal because every time I use it, I'm just a little bit traumatized, but yet I keep letting her stay. I don't know. This Milani Stay Put Brow Mousse, I don't look forward to using her. I don't seek her out. I think that can go. But on the bright side, there were also some really positive rediscoveries. I'm adding a little more of this blush, this Rare Beauty Happy. So nice. I really like the Dominique Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I liked using the CoverGirl foundation again. Getting back in with my Persona stick. Yes, some good finds happened here today as well. I hope you guys have a great day. I thank you for watching and listening. I thank you to those of you who do, seek me out, find my videos, watch them. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for this YouTube family. And I will see you guys again in my next video. I love you. Bye.